My husband said I was too ugly, so I showed up and exposed him. My husband told me I was too embarrassing to be seen at his boss's wedding, so I stayed home, or at least that's what he thought, because what happened when I walked into that room that night didn't just shock him, it destroyed everything he had built. And before the night was over, a secret he had been hiding for years was about to come out in front of everyone. Who was this woman he was so desperate to hide? Why would a man be ashamed of his own wife, and what could possibly happen at a wedding that would turn admiration into humiliation in a matter of seconds? To understand that, we need to go back to the beginning. My name is Camilla Hayes, I'm 29 years old, and for 5 years I was married to a man I thought was my future. When I first met Jace, he was everything I thought I wanted: confident, driven, and charming. Before we continue, let us know where you are watching from, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The kind of man who walked into a room and made people notice. But when he looked at me, he made me feel like I was the only person in the world. He used to tell me I had the most beautiful smile he'd ever seen, that my laugh made everything feel lighter, that I was different, special. And for a long time I believed him. Pause, but somewhere along the way something changed. At first, it was small things, little comments that didn't seem like much at the time. If you lost a little weight, you look incredible. That dress isn't really your style. You should try something more elegant. I told myself he was just helping, that he wanted the best for me, that this was what love looked like. But over time, those small comments started to replace the compliments, and eventually the compliments disappeared altogether. While he was chasing his dreams, I was holding everything together. When Jace was in grad school, I worked double shifts, covered rent, paid bills, made sure there was always food on the table. I believed in him, I believed in us, and I told myself one day it would all be worth it. But the more I gave, the less I seemed to matter. Then one evening he walked through the door holding an envelope like he had just won the lottery. "It's from Richard Langford," he said, his boss, the man he admired more than anyone. Inside was an invitation to a wedding that everyone in his company wanted to attend. This wasn't just a party, this was opportunity, connections, power, the kind of event that could change everything. I smiled, genuinely happy for him, and then I asked the question that would change everything. "So, what should I wear?" The way his face changed, I'll never forget it, the excitement gone, replaced with something colder. "You're not coming," he said, just like that, no hesitation, no apology. I thought I had misheard him. "What do you mean I'm not coming? I'm your wife." He sighed like I was the problem. "You'll embarrass me. People are polished, refined. This isn't your scene." Then he said the words that stayed with me long after that moment. "I can't take you there looking the way you do." Looking the way I do, that sentence didn't just hurt, it broke something, because it wasn't a stranger saying it. It was the man who once told me I was beautiful, the man who promised to love me, and suddenly I felt small, invisible. Like I had been reduced to something he needed to hide. That night I lay awake next to him, staring at the ceiling while he slept peacefully. And for the first time in years I asked myself a question I had been avoiding. When did I start believing him? The next morning I called my best friend Sophia. I told her everything, every word, every moment, and when I finished she didn't hesitate. She said, "You've let him dim your light for too long." Was a pause, and then she said something that changed everything. "You're going to that wedding." Next day Sophia showed up with dresses, shoes, makeup, determination. She moved through my apartment like a woman on a mission, and for the first time in days I smiled. She held up a deep emerald dress, bold, unapologetic. "That's too much," I said. She looked at me dead serious. She said, "That's exactly enough." When I finally looked in the mirror, I didn't see the woman Jace had been criticizing. I saw someone else, someone stronger. Someone I hadn't seen in years. And in that moment I made a decision. I wasn't just going to show up, I was going to make sure he never forgot it. The night of the wedding, the building glowed with light, luxury cars, designer dresses, everything about it felt intimidating. For a moment I almost turned back. Maybe he was right, maybe I didn't belong there, but then I caught my reflection, and something inside me refused to shrink again, so I walked in, and then he saw me. The look on his face was something I will never forget. Shock, confusion, fear. For once he wasn't in control. He rushed toward me. "What are you doing here?" he whispered. "You need to leave." I didn't. Instead, I smiled, and I stayed. Something unexpected started to happen. People smiled at me, talked to me, complimented me. "You look stunning. That color is perfect on you." With every word his control slipped further away. Then I heard something, his voice behind me. "I settled," he said. "I deserve better." That was the moment everything became clear, not just who he was, but who I had become. So when he tried to humiliate me again, I didn't stay silent. I looked him in the eyes and told the truth. And in that moment the room didn't see me differently. They saw him clearly for the first time. "So tell me, if you were in my position, would you have stayed silent or walked away like I did?" And if this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories.